I remember getting all these inks, slowly trying to kind of figure out all the different blacks and grays that I was going to make. And slowly but surely, I found blues and reds and greens and yellows and light grays. And it's just been so beautiful.
I've gotten older as time's gone by, and I've aged, I've gotten gray, I've put on weight, I've grown hair. Being a painter is this lifelong journey that you have to do. It's not really a choice at some point. You just feel that strongly about it. And it just makes sense. But the journey getting there is so arduous. That's the word. I'm still in the process of learning to love myself. I think I'm better at it than I was when I started, which is really all you can ask for. But the inks, much like myself, are ever changing and always necessary. That's what it means to work on work. Work being ink, or paint, or life, or yourself. It's constant and it keeps going.
Alright, so the key that I always use is you want to have your main ingredients first, which are water, brush soap, ink, and a paper with a good grain on it. So, from that, I like to dip it in a little bit, kind of look at it, see how it goes, and then from there, more. You kind of work on your lines. So the thing about a brush is, depending on how hard you push down on this thing, you'll get a wide line or a thin line. If you spin it a little while you go, you get kind of a weird texture going. You can always do like a dry brush type of thing, which is fun. I always like to kind of keep spinning it while I'm doing it and use almost like the grain right here. The grain. The grain. And that's always kind of fun because you get these cool textures. See, from those colors, you have all that. Typically, for each time you go, to make sure your brush still keeps its shape, you want to kind of wet it and soap it, and then kind of wash it off again, wipe it down a little. Some people like to use a rag. I'm not a big fan of rags because they just don't seem necessary. And then once again, get your ink going. And then for me personally, when I do an ink wash, I'm just going to do a really simple one. So for my logo, I like it to feel very hand-drawn. I like if it kind of fades out a little bit. That's cool. Dunk it a little bit, get it going. Get my guy. There we go. Get down, little texture. There. Now, what I typically do is I let them dry for a little bit. Go with that brush. Always want to keep it going. And then from there, to do a bit of a wash with it, I dink it in. And then I mute it a little with the water. And then, to make it a little different, I'm going to try and make this a little more gray. So typically I would let this sit a lot longer, but I just want you to kind of get a feel of how I do it. Go from there, get a little more water, and then just kind of keep going. And yeah, I mean, you can always go darker, which is just dipping it a little more. So say we want this side to have a little more darkness, like a shadow, than this one. You just kind of keep going with it. I mean, you can't really mess it up so much. Like some people think you can.
People don't know what they're talking about. I think you just got to kind of keep going with it, see how you feel, and the wash will be pretty honest to you. I mean, the funny thing about this is you are not guaranteed what it's going to look like until it dries. And I kind of like that. I like the fearlessness of it. The fact that you can't control the whole thing while it's going on. So you have to make peace with it. I think that's really what being a painter is about.